This is your call to action. Get prepared, America. Economy, survival, energy, disasters. This is USAPrepares.com. Informative radio, educational radio. Interact now by emailing instructor@USAPrepares.com or text at 417-200-4715. Class, please take your seats. Now, your instructors, Vincent Finelli and Mark Wright.
And this is USA Prepares. I'm Mark Wright, and my co-host is the original survival economist, Vincent Finelli. Hello, Vincent.
Hi, Mark. Mark, I'm proud to be part of the KWTO family. Yeah, KWTO is heard in 5 states: Missouri, Arkansas, Kansas, Oklahoma, and Iowa. We're streaming live on the internet, radiospringfield.com. Click on KWTO, then listen live. Our broadcast classroom is an educational adventure focused on getting our families, community, and country prepared. Mark, SwissAmerica.com, MissouriStormShelters.com, and Sound of Freedom, which is known as SOF-USA.com, have all joined USAPrepares.com. We're proud to be associated with them because we all believe that Americans need to be better prepared.
And that is correct, and that's what we're all about. USA Prepares provides practical advice and affordable solutions through our Get Prepared Expo, meetups, this radio program, and our website. You can learn more about us at usaprepares.com. That's USAPREPARES. The Get Prepared Expo Fall Edition that will take place September 9th and 10th at the Downtown Exposition Center in downtown Springfield, Missouri, for all of those out-of-state listeners. And Vincent, by the way, I had somebody call the other day, and they were looking to buy tickets to the Get Prepared Expo. And if you go to getpreparedexpo.com and hit the ticket tab at the top, or the store tab, I should say, you can buy tickets to the Get Prepared Expo September 9th and 10th. And now, Vincent, what are the prices on the tickets?
$9 per day, and they get a discount if they go for 2 days. It's all right there on the store tab at usaprepares.com.
Fantastic. Now, what are we going to be talking about in regards to topics for the upcoming classes?
Well, let me go back a little bit. Last week we interviewed John Moore, a climate change researcher and talk show host. We've received lots and lots of emails about that interview. So you may go to usaprepares.com and click on the John Moore link.
You know, also, that interview is at our YouTube channel, the USA Prepares YouTube channel. They're all uplinked there, and I already went and checked it out over the weekend, Vinny. And lots of clicks on that interview. People are very interested in what John Moore has to say. So just go to youtube.com, punch in USA Prepares. You can hear that interview and also all the other interviews that we did last week as well.
Yep, and on last Friday, we spoke about protecting your gun rights with our personal friend at Gun Owners of America, Executive Director Larry Pratt, and we linked to him on our website. So if you're interested in that interview and talking about the Second Amendment and protecting your gun rights, that's a great interview to hear. Now this week, starting today, we're going to be talking about heirloom seeds, how to make your garden grow. They say that taste, quality, and the worth of store-bought does not compare well with homegrown harvest.
Amen.
Yeah. Learn how to save your seeds from year to year. This show should save you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars over your lifetime. Notebooks ready. Your test will be at your garden plot this summer. Tuesday, that'll be tomorrow, Bob Chapman of the International Forecaster. He'll be on with us. His newsletter is read worldwide. USAPrepares.com is the only radio program in Missouri that has world-renowned international forecaster Bob Chapman every Tuesday. Learn from Bob Chapman. The Rothschilds, Hugo Chavez, Fidel Castro, and the international bankers all read his publication. On Tuesday, we'll tell you how to get your free copy of the International Forecaster. I get mine twice a week, about 35 pages an issue, and I pay for mine.
You know, Bob Chapman, the Wall Street brokers, the power brokers on Wall Street, listen to every word that Bob Chapman says in regards to the economy.
Yeah, so does the White House.
And so does the White House. Yeah, I mean, world leaders, our national leaders, our economic leaders. I would think that old Ben Bernanke probably even listens in to old Bob Chapman. You think Ben Bernanke might listen into the show on Tuesday?
You bet. By the way, and before this show, I checked my email, and I still have not received a response from the inflator-in-chief about being on our show, talking about the economy.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah.
I'm shocked.
Well, let's talk about Wednesday. And on Wednesday, we're going to talk about honest medicine, what your doctor may not tell you, and effective, inexpensive, time-tested treatment methods for life-threatening diseases like multiple sclerosis, epilepsy, liver disease, rheumatoid arthritis, and other diseases. So, inexpensive, time-tested, put on the shelf, things that doctors don't necessarily use today. That will be what we'll be discussing on Wednesday.
Well, I'm excited. I think we're going to have a great week. I'm pumped about today's show, and Bob Chapman tomorrow is going to be fantastic. And then the end of the week. Who do we have on Thursday? Do you remember who we have lined up on Thursday?
Yes, I do. Thursday's kind of interesting. There's a man from Central America that will be phoning in. He'll be using Skype to get into us, and he will be talking about how to bribe, B-R-I-B-E, for your life. He was at the Get Prepared Expo.
Yes.
And he captivated the audience, wouldn't you say?
I would say so, and there was a lot of people that showed up to his seminar at the Get Prepared Expo. I think he's going to come back to the fall edition, is he not?
He is. He will be there, and he will be doing his world-class presentation. He does a seminar on starting with the easy way when you're confronted with some very serious threats, starting with the easy way of negotiating your way out of it, and then getting a little more serious, and then a little more serious, and eventually, the ultimate solution to that threat. When he was, Mark, is kind of neat. When we all had dinner at the farm, Larry Pratt and the freeze-dry guy and you and your wife and me and my wife and our dentist friends, the Shanes, and John Statmiller and Sandra Statmiller. I mean, a whole bunch of us there, and this gentleman from Central America. I said, how many of you are armed at the dining room table here? Half the hands went up.
Yeah, they sure did,
including his.
Yeah, I think if there was any thought about anybody crashing our party, they were in deep trouble. They were in deep trouble.
They surely were.
Let's talk briefly about. We're going to have a meetup. We've been talking about a meetup for a week now.
We have,
and we are going to do a meetup, and we're going to do it at the Sound of Freedom Indoor Gun Range. At the end of the week. And when we come back from the break, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do our interview with our guest, and then after our guest, we're going to talk about the Sound of Freedom meetup at the end of the week, along with all of the great things that they're doing out there. It's going to be a fun time at Sound of Freedom here over the July 4th weekend, and we'll talk more about that later after our interview. This is Mark Wright. I'm here with Vincent Finelli at USA Prepares the radio program, and when we come back, we are going to have a fantastic guest talking about heirloom seeds.
You bet.
We'll be right back.
You need the luck to make a buck if you want to be a Getty Rothschild.
Pencils, paper, notebooks, iPads. Class is now in session. USAPrepares.com. Educational radio. Set your memory to high power. GetPreparedExpo.com instructors Vincent Finelli and Mark Wright at the controls.
And this is USA Prepares, the radio program. I'm Mark Wright, and I am with the original survival economist, Vincent Finelli. And we have a fantastic, informative guest today by the name of Mike Nocks. Vincent, why don't you welcome Mike to the program?
Be glad to, Mark. White Harvest Seed Company, Hartville, Missouri. That's whiteharvestseed.com. Now, we have a link to White Harvest Seed Company on our website, usaprepares.com. So all you have to do is go to usaprepares.com, and you'll see the link to White Harvest Seed. Mike and his company will be at Get Prepared Expo on September 9th and 10th at the Springfield, Missouri Downtown Expo Center on St. Louis Street. The last time we had an expo, Mike sold out of all of his seeds and had to run back and bring his entire crew to repackage more and more seeds for the next day.
Wow.
It was a great show. Let me say something about seeds. Many years ago, when I was establishing my vineyard in Virginia, I was working with a gentleman by the name of Gabriele Rousey. He's an old friend. He's been on the History Channel. He's very famous in wine growing. And I said to Gabriele, is it difficult to grow wine? And he said, well, it's not difficult to grow wine if you have great grapes, but it's impossible if you have poor quality grapes. So what he was saying is, you can't make wine out of poor quality grapes. So if you start with poor quality grapes, you get poor quality wine. If you start with poor quality seeds, you get poor quality vines, and so forth. So there you have it. So we're going to be starting today's lesson with Mike Nocks of White Harvest Seed. Mike, you're on the air with Mark Wright and me, Vin Finelli, and we're being heard in 5 states and worldwide on the internet. Welcome, Mike.
What a privilege, man. You guys are something else, having just an old, simple guy like me coming on here today, but I am thrilled and pleased to be punched to be with you today.
Good to have you, Mike.
Mike, people often ask about seeds for the garden, and I tell that story about the grapes. So does it make a difference what type of seed you plant in your garden?
Well, yeah, I think so. You know, there's a lot of talk out there today between heirloom and open pollinated varieties compared to hybrids and the genetic modified organisms, the GMOs, you know. So, yeah, there's a lot of things out there that enter into that. And, of course, our company deals with strictly just the heirloom and open pollinateds because that's what we feel is the best for the folks.
Well, Mike, I'd like to tell our audience that I purchased seeds from your company way before we invited you on the show. And the reason that we've invited you is your seeds grow. And in my garden, every day, our family goes out and picks lettuce and and some others. And that's what we're eating, and it's just fabulous. So we wanted to introduce our class to your seeds. So what is the difference, or why did you select heirloom seeds instead of GMO or genetically modified seeds?
And that's a good question. Let me answer it in 2 different ways. One in a simple way that I usually try to answer in, and then I'll give you a brief description of some of those terms that's used. But Vincent and Mark, if you had the choice, if you could go to get some ice cream today, and you were going to go get that white stuff that they serve in the stale month-old cone at a fast food place, and that was one of your choices. And the other choice was going to the grocery store and getting the cardboard box that's been artificially flavored full of stuff that's low fat and 5% ice milk. Or you could have the choice of getting on your back porch and cranking up some all-natural homemade ice cream. Which would you prefer?
Well, I would prefer the last choice. And
homemade.
Yeah, and the reason is I've had it homemade, and it's the real deal. And the other
that's essentially what the deal is with the seeds. The heirloom open pollinated varieties are the old-fashioned, the simple kind that predate and are not modified by modern-day breeding techniques. Even some people classify that as any seed that produces true to type, which it grows the same each year. You get the same product each year for over 50 years. That's been doing that. That's a definition of the open pollinated and heirlooms. Plus, you can save your seeds from them, which is a great benefit.
Well, let's talk about saving your seeds, Mike. When the inside circle of USAprepares.com got together, we said, okay, let's buy some seeds. Let's buy the very best seeds we can. And let's go in together and we'll just buy a lot. And we'll buy everything we need. And maybe, if we do this right, we will never have to buy seeds again. So we contacted you and we asked you for your recommendations. And you sent us thousands and thousands and thousands of seeds. It was great. So we planted them and it's working great. Now, let's talk about saving seeds. So how does Mark, and how does our class save our seeds?
Well, that's a multi-answered question. Simply, anybody can do it. The average gardener can do it, no problem whatsoever. It's not that hard. It does take a little bit of research and knowledge and time and organization on your end, and there's a little bit of trial and error even that has to be done. You do have to worry a little bit about isolation distances. For example, watermelons, if you were going to grow your watermelon and you wanted to save the seed from it, you would need to have about a half-mile separation from any neighbor or any other different variety of watermelon growing to get that true to type, like I mentioned earlier.
Yes.
But, some things like tomatoes and beans, they're pretty much self-pollinating varieties. And but to kind of be on the safe side, they're 25 feet to 100 feet. So, you kind of have to get a little bit of knowledge and research those type of things. And we have all that information that we're willing to share with people. And anytime, they want to contact us or whatever, we'd be glad to share that with them. But that's pretty much it on the isolation side.